Hey fam! Welcome to the most special, very special episode of MIKEroaggress'd. I'm so excited. This has been my dream guest for the longest time. You know her from so many things. Badass, Amazonian Renaissance woman. Please welcome the iconic Adrianne Curry.
What's up? Amazonian Renaissance woman. I kind of like that.
Fact. How are
That's a
you?
huge bitch. That's what that is.
Well, it takes one to know one.
Yeah, right?
Thank you so much for being here. How are you?
I'm good. I was just thinking it's like 70 degrees here in Montana, and I'm so hot. And I know that that's not hot to like the real world, but to me, I'm just sitting here like, oh, that's why I wanted to be out of my house,
Is
out
it
on
is it
my
what?
deck.
Is it the weather or is it like the
It's
changes?
it's it's nice weather. It's just it was like 50 degrees the other day, so the spike up to 70, like my blood is I'm cold-blooded, so I haven't acclimated to this just yet. Like what is this summer bullshit that's happening here?
Sorry, people are telling me to turn my volume up. You know I'm not good with such things. Sorry. Um it's so nice to see you in like the real world and not suffering on a reality show or in LA. How are you
Ah,
liking your new life?
um, I love where I live. I wish I could grab all my old school friends from Illinois and bring them here with me, but I would never live in Illinois again. It is the worst state outside of New York and California to live in via like taxes and everything else and no rights whatsoever as an American. But I wish I could bring them here. Otherwise, I'm happy as a clam.
That's how I'm feeling. I'm from New York City and I escaped to Florida and it's lovely.
Now, now you're the Florida man.
I am. I was just like crazy New York bitch. Now I'm a Florida man.
How was that move for you? Because that's a huge weather change.
Oh, I love it. The cold is like torture for me.
Oh, really?
But I
I'm the
was just
opposite.
really.
Yeah,
I
I
was just
love
in
the
LA for
snow.
like 2 weeks though, doing these walkaway events, and the only place I would rather live less is Alaska. I'm allergic to LA.
Really? Because we were supposed to move to Alaska, but this was the compromise was to live in Northwest Montana because I felt if we moved to Alaska, I would never see any of my loved ones again.
It's too damn cold. Well, I guess you like that.
I do. I love cold. I love bears. I love mountain lions. I just like wild shit. It's just awesome. I feel safer with grizzly bears walking around than I did on the south side of Chicago. Like this is way better.
That I'm just feeling so nostalgic right now because I remember watching you on Top Model when I was a kid and just imitating you saying Chicago.
Ooh, and passion. That
Yes.
everyone says that they're like, "Can you say it?" And I'm like, "Oh God, what? Which?" And they're like, "Passion." I'm like, "Yes, passion."
How long? How
Oops.
long did you live in LA?
Oh my gosh. I think I moved there and no, very beginning of 2005. And then I escaped in 2017.
Oh wow, you did a long sentence.
Yeah, I did. I
Did it
really did.
did it get worse or was it just kind of shitty the whole time?
Okay, it's visually stunning. The
Yeah.
people are self important assholes. Like the first thing someone will ask you is, so what do you do? Because they want to judge you based on your ladder rung. And I remember my brother came out there and we went somewhere. I don't know if it was the Playboy Mansion or somewhere, and everyone, so what is it? What do you do? And he was just like, man, fuck these people. And he actually does something really cool. He does pyrotechnics for all the huge concerts. Like if Beyonce has a mega concert and has a bunch of pyrotechnics, my brother's like sitting there like fire
They'd
lighting
probably be nicer to him if once he says that. It's like they determine how they'll treat you based on what you do.
100%.
Oh,
But
I
it was
hate these
also really,
people.
yeah, it was very soul sucking. Like I'm a very trusting person. So I took people at face value and at their word, and I learned what an absolute idiot I am. And I just kept not learning my lesson. I just kept getting bent over with no lube. I don't know why
Was that in like personal relationships or career stuff?
friendship, career, like, I don't know. I guess I kept seeing the glass half full with people, and I wanted to believe someone somewhere was good. And there was like a select few people out there that were cool. But for the most part, I just locked myself away in my
This is how I feel
computer
about
room.
gay people.
I just locked myself away in my computer room and played World of Warcraft with like my shutters pulled. That's what I did most of the time in LA.
It's so funny too how people from that era would see you and would never imagine that. They would think you're
Right?
just some party girl out every night.
Dude, I would walk a red carpet. I would get there right when it opened. I would make the rounds, and as everyone started coming in, the security started to get to know me because I would slip out the back door. The second the party started, so like 8 p.m., I'd already be out. Everyone always called me like elderly, even though I was like 23.
That is elderly. Well, that's what they used to call me, bitches, on these shows. Like model and stuff. They'd be like, "Oh, she's 22. I don't know. She's too old."
100%. I was too old at 20 to get into modeling.
Did they
That's
tell you
far
that?
too old. No, but I know it for a fact today. That was
Yeah.
like a little long in the tooth, but whatever.
I got to tell you, I recently did a rewatch of Top Model season 1.
I am
That
so sorry.
it was not a reality show. That was a psychological thriller. Like
Yeah,
Tyra was the original Jigsaw.
dude, do you see how much her voice and her demeanor changed from season one, like on?
She is such an asshole. What is her problem? She is just such an asshole.
Do you know what? Let me tell you something about her. A couple things. One, I touched her arm and it was the softest skin that I've ever felt in my life. So know this. Two, when she's gussied up, she's so fucking beautiful in person. It will take your breath away. She's so pretty. And two, or three, when she came to my room to pick out something I was going to wear, I thought she was a PA for the show because she didn't have a wig on and she had no makeup on.
Shut
No, it took me a second, and then I noticed the bone structure and shit. Look, we all look busted in the morning. It happens.
Oh,
So,
same.
yeah, so when I was introduced to her, she was like full on red carpet, glam, like RuPaul looking, right? And then when she came to my room, she had like a t-shirt on like me with her normal hair without the wig and everything and no makeup on. So it was like maybe 3 minutes and I was like, "Oh shit.
How did
This
that
is
go
so."
over with her?
Well, I mean, I thank God I have a good poker face. I've been
I have none.
yeah.
That's why I asked.
I was just like, who the hell is this? Why are they acting like they know me so well? And I mean, it was early and it was dark, so it was
It better
interesting.
be. Do you remember
Yeah.
that? Did you ever see that movie, The Witches?
The witches. Wait a
Where they
minute.
take off the wig and they're like bald and scratching their scalp, and they
I
have.
have a vague memory of
That's
that.
what I imagine Tyra is without the wig and without the makeup.
She wasn't ugly. Like I said, it was the bone structure and stuff. But when you are introduced to someone looking like they're about to pose for the cover of Vogue, and then they come to your room looking like they just rolled out in their own bed, it is a huge night and day.
She is, and I wish somebody would make a compilation of every moment of that show that she's just talking about herself. It would be 10 hours long.
It's you're hard pressed in this industry. Like I've called my escape from Hollywood in 2015 the deprogramming of narcissism from myself because everyone has to have some level of narcissistic tendencies to be on camera, to host, to do any of this stuff. But I mean, you go from low level to high level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
Like
that's high level.
right? Like a Rand Paul to a Donald Trump. Like there's
Yeah,
different levels there.
so true.
Yeah.
So when you first did it, were you happy by the time it ended? Were you happy that you did it?
Like when I won,
Yeah.
at the time, it was almost like a religious experience for me because I was
Aw.
just poor white trash, and I never in a million years thought they'd choose the stoner. Because this is a time, well, stoners back then, like celebrities now are like, oh, I smoke the greens. Then, no. So stoners were a bad thing, and that was me. So I thought for sure it was going to go to the runner up or the third runner up, but luckily for us, she was too smart for her own good, and she Hermione Grangered them by being an insufferable know-it-all.
She
Yeah.
was an insufferable know-it-all.
They were like, fuck you, because like she didn't understand that in this industry, you have to kiss people's asses to get ahead. Like you can't sit there and tell them they're wrong. And especially if you're standing in front of a panel of judges that you want to choose you, you can't talk down to them. You can't condescend. And I remember thinking to myself, watching her do it, and I was like, for how smart she is, here she's so fucking stupid. Like what is she doing? She's just shooting herself in her own foot, and she did.
That's often the case, though, is that people with all the book smarts have no common sense.
I felt that right there it was lacking a little bit, kind of like during elimination when I got food poisoning. They were reprimanding me for showing up and that I need to take care of myself. Meanwhile, the president of CBS, who owned UPN, which it was originally on, we came on after Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He came to my hospital room and was like, if you don't leave, you're going to be eliminated. And they wanted to keep me on a 48-hour observation because I was so sick. And I was like, fuck that, I'm going.
Well, and they said it on the show. This is why I say this show is a psychological thriller, because Tyra is Jigsaw in this franchise. Like, it just exists to torment these women, because they say on the show, we feel so sorry for Adrianne, she's sick, and if she doesn't show up, we will be eliminating her. So you show up, and then they reprimand you for showing up. There is no winning in this show.
My favorite was I get there and I have long hair. And the first episode, this bitch cuts my hair to the cutest haircut I've ever had in my life. I was like, I love this haircut. It was like a razor cut, like this awesome bob. And then they give me black girl weave, which is great when you're a black girl with strong hair. But I had to go to a black beauty salon after I won top model, and I'll never forget, like I had 3 beauticians in my hair, and they're like, who the hell put this black girl weave in a white girl's head? And I mean, it was like for black chicks, they have stronger hair. I don't. So my hair was ripped out of my scalp. I had bald spots.
Oh God!
Yeah.
They would do that on the show to people, that they would that sew stuff into their head that would start bleeding and falling apart. Like, I don't know how they got away with this shit in the 2000s.
And then, dude, I remember going to elimination after they gave me ugly ass bangs and this ugly ass weave. It was so ugly. And then they're like, well, you went to these castings, but you should have pulled your hair back. And I'm like, how the fuck am you cut my hair off? I have ugly bangs. And I have all this weave. I don't know how to style weave.
There is no winning at that show. It's just set up for everyone to lose except Tyra.
Yes, that is Tyra Banks' show. And look at what it did for her. She is a mogul. Good for her.
And they screwed you when you won, too, out of your prize, right?
Well, what they told me I was going to win was never a thing. So everyone on my season will tell you that they did voiceovers. What Tyra was actually saying to us was that we were going to be Revlon cover girls, superstars, supermodels. The Untitled Supermodel show is what they called the show before they got its name, America's Next Top Model. So I have the contract still that say Untitled Supermodel show that I signed. But yeah, they told us that we were going to be like rich overnight, that we were going to be, I think at the time, Jamie King was the Revlon cover girl, but I grew up with Cindy Crawford as one. And I look at the other winners and I'm glad that it only happened to me, because at least these bitches got their fake cover girl ads and they got their $100,000 contract, which I think is awesome. But I went to Revlon after I won, and it was humiliating because I kept contacting them like, okay, so when's this happening? So it was like 6, 8 months later, something like this. So I go down there and they had like all these Revlon ads over the years up. And I was like, I can't believe I'm going to be this. Like I said it out loud. Like, I just can't believe this. And that's when my first humiliation in front of everyone, when they're like, we never had an agreement that the winner was going to be a cover girl. They were under the impression that they would provide makeup and stuff for all the shoots, which we did use Revlon makeup for a couple of things. So they didn't know what to do with me because they realized that the show was all like, you're going to win a contract. I could have got a contract with any modeling agency. So winning the contract was who gives a fuck? Like I could have went to Ford in Chicago or
In Chicago.
yeah, Ford or damn it, I forget the other one. But I could have went there and got a contract. It was the money I wanted. Like when I won the show, I even said things are going to be different for me and my family. Like I thought I was going to financially be able to help my loved ones. I truly thought I got Kelly Clarkson's. And yeah, so then finally they were like, you're going to come down on a Saturday in a conference room with like 5 to 10 people where their makeup artists put new makeup on me for them to look at. That's what I won.
That's your grand prize.
Yeah. And then to save face, they were like, well, we'll pay you 10 grand for it. Here's the thing. The modeling agency takes almost half. So I'm living in New York City, and my grand prize from winning top model was essentially $5,000.
So you're
And
down
I
from
had
100,000 to 10 grand to 5 grand.
right. So living in New York City, what's 5 grand?
Ugazz, as they say in Italian.
Yeah, it's like a month's rent. I'm like,
Yeah.
I just moved to fucking New York City and I have no money because I was poor, So it was the first, winning top model was the best thing that had ever happened to me. I had never felt that way. But then only a few months later was like the biggest humiliation and piece of humble pie I've ever eaten in my life. I liken it to winning the lottery and you go out on stage and everyone's cheering and they hand you a check and you go to cash it later when everyone leaves and it bounces. That's what it felt like.
Oh, God, that's horrible. And see, this is why I say I think Tyra is a particular type of asshole, because there are plenty of assholes out there. But with all her moralizing and proselytizing and, oh, these are my girls, and did she give 2 shits about this?
No, eventually what she did say, she made a comment, and I'll never forget it because this is what turned me against her. Because up until that point, I saw her as an angel that plucked me out of my white trash life, and gave me this new life that I thought I was going to have. And when I was like, wait a minute, nothing's happening that they said was going to happen. And her comment to the press was, well, she needs better work ethic. Yeah, because she's going to have to work for this. And I was like, hold up a second. I have no problem working for other things. I just thought that I won something besides the title, Like I actually thought I won something. So I got pissed, and I might have said that Tyra Banks was fucking fat.
Well, she was at that time. I remember that big fat ass.
I only said it because I was so angry and I knew it would bother her the most.
She was a little fat then, too.
She was, and she was really sensitive about it. Like, she was thicker. She still looked good, but she was thicker. And I said, and I'm older now. I regret it. I was young and I was so mad. But for me to call her fat, for me, the same thing was to tell me I had poor work ethic. Like, I'm the bitch that used to work double shifts as a waitress. You know what I mean? I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, all my friends will tell you all this bitch does is like the Energizer Bunny, run around and work. Like, I love to work. It's fun. Right before I came on here with you, I made 2 pans of cinnamon rolls. It was great. Yes. They're rising overnight in my fridge. It's going to be so exciting tomorrow. But
Okay, I need your recipe sometime.
oh, I have so many. I have big books, all analog, nothing online. I don't like to,
Yes.
I like big cookbooks. It makes me feel like it's 1995. It's a good thing.
Oh, I
But
missed
yeah,
1995.
me too. But yeah,
Not,
I
I mean,
called
not that I was
Tyra a
alive.
fat bitch. Yeah, what were
She's
you,
a fat bitch.
3?
Oh, I love you. Thank you. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But I feel like you really made the most of it. So was it this what you said was this humiliation that sort of gave you the motivation to turn around? Because you were like the only person from that show that anyone knew that became any sort of celebrity.
Well, I mean, look at what the show became. I'll never forget after me, every winner's photo had her hogging the photo, Tyra. My photo was me. And she took it. She actually did a good job. But I looked at every other winner. I'm like, she can't even let them have one fucking second. Not
No,
one.
you see the judging panel and they have Tyra's face. You go to the house, Tyra's face on every wall.
Yes. Yes. I'm like, they can't get a second. But I know that Eva was successful. And I know there was a couple of
Oh, yes.
chicks that were successful in modeling. But it really lit the fire. I like to say I have a lot of fuck you in my heart.
I love
And
it.
yeah, that it was like the Grinch's heart that grew 3 times that day. Mine burst full of fuck you. And I was like on a mission to just do and be. So like when I went on the Surreal Life, the producers of Surreal Life told me that the producers of Top Model were trying to stop it. They were threatening them because I would make the show look bad, which is hilarious because when
Oh,
I went
you
on,
make the show look bad.
yeah, by going on Surreal Life with a bunch of has-beens since I just won Top Model. So it was a double-edged sword because the people in the house were threatened by me because I was relevant and new and they weren't. So that caused some issues. And Top Model was threatened because I made it look like if you win the show, it's a fucking joke. The second I heard, because I was not really sure if I wanted to do the show,
Mhm.
but the second I heard that Tyra didn't want me to do it, I'm like, give me the fucking contract.
That is
Like,
why I love you.
let's do it. I'm doing this. And someone's like, what are you going to do there? I'm like, this is going to be my spring break. I've never gone to college. I'm just going to drink the entire time. And I did.
Did you have a good experience at least, or
What, on the Surreal Life?
yeah,
Well,
no?
I appreciate, well, I'm embarrassed of it because I was so young and drunk. And that's never a good combination for television. I met my ex-husband, which I can say was a mistake, but I wouldn't be where I am today had that not happened. So I try to not live in regrets. And it's hard because you'll be like, oh, because I did a lot of things. I'm proud of Top Model. The things after Top Model, I'm not as proud of. I feel like I looked like a real fucking idiot. I do.
I doubt you did.
I don't know. Like I was in a very, our relationship was very toxic, and then we did a whole reality show on this toxic shitbag relationship. So I mean,
I remember seeing that and thinking at the time one of two things: either it was just for TV, or like this. You are so out of that dude's league.
um, it was not just for TV for me. I think it was for him. Yeah.
Mhm.
It wasn't. And that's why eventually I flew the coop because I was like, wait a
Good for
minute.
you.
Because well, yeah, he just told me that he never loved me. He loved the idea of who he thought he could mold me to be because I was so young and
Ah,
pliable. Yeah. So I was like, you
where
know
are
what?
these fucking guys who are
I,
just
I,
nothing? He's a little twerp who was at the Brady. Where does he get off saying that to
he was.
you?
He was a huge start. This guy mowed through mountains of vagina for years. Like I am like a
The
blip.
Brady kid?
Yeah, are you kidding? Like everywhere we went, we'd run into his ex-girlfriends, and many of them were like famous. I'm not going to name names, but some of them are like A-list stars today. This guy just plowed through it. So I was like, the last in a bit, and I wasn't aware. Like I probably never would have been interested in him had I known that he had, played the field that much. But yeah,
That's
so
so
that
crazy because I feel like any person with eyes would see it the opposite. That like he would have been lucky to be with you.
well, he's not a bad person. He was just terrible for me. And maybe he'd say the same about
Either.
me. But yeah, so I'm like, I wish you well wherever the fuck you are, as long as it's far away from me. You know what I mean?
Was he sort of pushing for like the next show and the next public appearance and it being sort of this very public
No,
thing?
I think he needs someone who's not famous that doesn't take any of the thunder. Like that
Mm.
was always a problem. And now being married to someone where there is no like competition, because I hate that. I don't want to compete with my lover. I want my lover to be my partner. So it's hard when two people, I guess, are in the spotlight and one is accustomed to always having it on just them. It can be very, I hate this fucking word, problematic.
It's true sometimes, but yeah, that word, people who use it have made me allergic to it.
Yeah, right. But in that sense, it's true. And that's
It
why you'll
is.
see like Matthew McConaughey, Matt Damon, they went and married like waitresses. And there's
Yeah.
a reason they needed someone who is not in that sphere. And then that normally tends to work better than.
Yeah. How did you meet your husband? Were you still in Hollywood at the time?
I was in LA. It was the 1 year anniversary of my grandmother's death, and she raised me from birth. Yeah. And
So
I was
sorry.
like, I was sad, right? This is 2014. Grandma's been dead a long time, baby, but it was very fresh then. Yeah. My lovely dead grandma. And I was
Mine
playing,
too.
yeah, I was playing Hearthstone on Twitch because I love World of Warcraft. And my husband was a very famous OG Twitch streamer who played World of Warcraft named
Really?
Duck Sauce. Yeah.
I did not
And
know that.
he came into my chat. And when he came into my chat, I was burping really loud. And he laughed and he subbed to me. And I saw his name, Duck Sauce, and I knew him because I had hosted E3 and Blizzard. BlizzCon for World of Warcraft and StarCraft. I hosted that for DirecTV. So I was like a gamer and I saw his name. I'm like, holy shit, that's a streamer guy. And I looked up a picture of him and I was like, oh my God, like there's no way he's a gamer. He's like 6'6", looks like he's like a GQ spread. It's ridiculous, but he's a nerd that loves Lord of the Rings.
So
And
he's like the guy version of you.
yes, but I'd say with Asperger's. Yes. But in the best way ever. So when I was like, fuck all these people, he was like, yes, fuck everyone and noise. I'm like, yes, noise too. Yeah.
It's like the perfect amount of the tism.
Yes. No, he is high functioning autistic and he's so brilliant and I love him. And we fell in love playing World of Warcraft and it was great.
Did he live in, was he in Hollywood at the time or was his thing sort
He
of
had
separate?
just moved there and had only been there like 2 or 3 weeks. And I told my friends, I have to get my claws in before all these whores see him. Because the moment they see him, it's over. And I got my claws and I got them deep. So,
Wait, so when was
yeah.
this? 2014?
This was 2015. This was January 2015 on the 21st that we met.
So is that sort of what prompted you leaving LA?
There was a lot of discussion about it, and after he hung out in LA with me, what was he there for a year and a half? He was like, "These people are awful. This is exactly what you said." Yeah, I'm like, yes, because he had a bunch of people using him and he didn't realize it because he was a big streamer. So everyone's asking for favors and, never giving back. He was just like, yeah, like these people suck, man. I'm like, they do. He's like, let's get the fuck out of here. So we did.
Oh, when did you guys get married?
We got married. Get away from me, B. Hold on.
We have live Adrian versus the bee.
I'm allergic to wasps, so you'll just watch me die on here.
No.
I don't have my EpiPen. That's why I was like, I will punch this thing in the face and run.
We cannot have a Macaulay Culkin My Girl situation.
I think we got married in 2018. I think it was 2018. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 2018 in Glacier National Park in Montana. But we never remember when we got married because we've been inseparable now for 10 years. Aww. So we're like, how long have we been married? I don't know. But it's nice to be with someone that like you want to be with them all the time, like because he's my best friend. Like tomorrow we're going to sit here and we're going to unzip our pants and undo the button. We're going to eat pizzas, calzones, and cinnamon rolls. And then we're going to burp and fart. And he always laughs at me. And he's like, just one of the dudes, just sitting with one of the dudes, meaning me, because I'm disgusting. I'm like, yeah.
It's like my dream relationship. Oh my God.
Yeah. And what's great is we still find each other immensely attractive, even though we can just rip ass in front of one another all the time. That's the key.
So
love.
When you guys, were you always like, I don't know what you consider yourself. Do you consider yourself like more conservative or just?
You know what? How do I say this? I would say that I always had a lot of conservative values. I was raised by an Italian Catholic grandmother.
Hey, same.
Yeah, but when you're young, you're just default liberal. So I was like, okay, default liberal. But I always loved guns and, my rights. And I was raised in the era that if you notice someone's skin color, we all had a problem with you because you were the piece of shit. Yep. Like it wasn't cool, right? My first boyfriend ever, like where you just hold hands down the hallway, was black and 0 people gave a shit. And it wasn't anything anyone discussed. The only time people cared is when I dated a girl in 8th grade and I got the shit beat out of me.
Ooh.
But they were just looking for a reason to kick my ass. And that's what I tell everyone's like, that was a hate crime. I'm like, no, it wasn't. It was a bunch of assholes looking for any reason on earth to kick my ass, and they found it. Well, you dated a girl. And then later on in life, some of the same people that kicked my ass, like come up to me. So you still into chicks or what? And I'm like, get out of here. Like meaning like dudes go from like kick her ass because of this in junior high to like 2 years later, they're like, it's actually awesome. I'm like, go away.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, right?
So did your views kind of change along the way? Maybe like I feel like any sane person would, spending that much time in Hollywood.
I would say when we left Hollywood, I thought I was escaping the woke mind virus. This sick Marxist mindset was becoming more and more prominent. I had neighbors. I would see people dressing their little boys as girls and stuff. And I was like, I gotta get out of here. Like there's something wrong with the city. But what sucks is it spread all over the nation. So I thought, yay, I'm out of here. And it left LA and it went everywhere, man.
Yeah. I'm hoping that it's maybe like ramping down a little bit, but I mean, they just have so much power, and I feel the same way because they have so much power in every institution, and it's so effective in keeping people in line because most people are scared shitless of being called these names. You're a racist, you're a Nazi.
Only people who aren't racist and aren't Nazis don't like being called it. Exactly. I mean, I know I will never forget the black square. I posted it because I was terrified.
You did?
All these people were like, where's your fucking black square? And I'm like, what is a black square? What does this mean? Well, no, hear me out. So I post it, and then literally my heart full of fuck you was like, wait a minute. So I delete it. And that caused worse thing. Oh, yeah. And then I was like, what is this black square going to do? Like, is it saving someone's life? Like, I don't just post black squares. Like, this is fucking stupid. And then they all came for me multiple times. It's been wonderful.
It's just about compliance to them. You will do what they say.
Yes. And I mean, okay, as a gay man, how did it feel to you when the gay community was hijacked by people who identified as things?
It's fucking unbelievable that, like, I will not go along with things that aren't real. And I remember when these things started popping up, I was like, what do you mean they're infinite genders? What do you mean you can be a they or a them? What are you talking about? But I was just supposed to know automatically, and suddenly it's very offensive.
Here's what really bothered me. So my best friend since kindergarten is not only a gay man, but a former drag queen. His name was Sativa Hayes. And I used to give him my shoes when I was done with them because we wear the same size, and he'd bejewel them and stuff for stage, which I thought was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
But it's like, I literally hung out with nothing but gays and lesbians and went to Rocky Horror Picture shows and was like a freak growing up. And then everyone's like, you don't understand. Everyone was trans. They were just so afraid to tell the group. Hold on. They were too afraid to tell the group of misfit lesbians and gays going to Rocky Horror Picture Show throwing hot dogs and rice. It was too scary to tell you guys.
That's such a good point. That's such a good point. No,
I'm like, what?
That's what's so insidious about this is that I know if this were the case when I was growing up, I 100% would have been one of the people targeted with it because, like, I just wanted to be David Bowie.
Oh my God.
And now that would be like, cut your balls off. You're trans. You're a they, them.
Well, if you cut your balls off, you could be David Bowie in Labyrinth playing with the balls. They're like, hey, wait. I brought my own. No.
It's look like him.
See, when I first entered Hollywood, I knew a couple of trans people, like Alexis Arquette, right?
Yeah.
There were trans people, and no one talked about it, and no one gave a shit, and there wasn't a whole army of other people thinking they were too. And the people who were trans were trying really, really hard to just pass, never talk about it, ever. Like, I had a friend that I thought was a twink gay man, and it ended up that he used to be a she, and I was the only one that didn't know. And he was so thrilled that I had never had a clue. I was like, you were born to be a flaming gay man. Like, that is what you are. Like, the cattiest gay dude I've ever met was born a woman. And that, it was so funny because my lesbian friend was like, you never noticed their hips? I'm like, no, I'm not looking at his hips. Like, hey, what do you got packing down there? But I'll never forget. He lifted up his shirt, showed me his scars. That was the first time, like, top surgery, all that stuff. This was like in 2011. And they had been living as trans for like a long time. I didn't know.
No, I just had friends who were trans that, like, it doesn't matter to me. I would treat them the same as any other guy or girl. Like, I don't care what they were born as. The thing that sucks is we're not really able to do that anymore on a wide scale because this ideology is just seeking to conquer everything.
Yes. And, anything that does that, anything you can't question. I feel like gender ideology is like Islam.
100%.
Like, you cannot question this, or there's hell to pay, or maybe even your life.
and people in both instances pretend that they don't understand the difference between criticizing an ideology and just hating people. That if you criticize Islam, oh, you just hate Muslims, or same thing with trans, you hate them, you're transphobic. I'm at the point where I'm just like, okay, I'll be transphobic then. I'm
Christian, but there's no one I dislike more on earth than a lot of Christians.
That's how I feel with gay people.
Because you know what? I feel like 50% of the population are just assholes.
They are. I think that's like a very low estimate.
A lot of people tell me that, but remember, I said glass half full. I'm always trying to, yeah, I'm always trying, but yeah, it's probably more like 75%.
God, that's
And that's
depressing.
sad, isn't it? But, proceed accordingly. Know that. And I just assume whatever anybody is, Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, even fucking hippies. Sometimes the hippies are assholes. Like, just assume they're assholes.
I heard someone say a while ago, I thought this was so on point. What was it? Something like hippies are pretending to be pretending to be nice people, but they're assholes, and metalheads are pretending to be assholes, but are really nice people.
100%, dude. Metalheads
So
are always so awesome.
same with horror people. People who are really into horror are like the most awesome people in the world.
Yes. Yes.
Were you oh, sorry.
I was going to say I went to Chiller Convention once on the East Coast. Yeah, and it was pretty rad, and everyone was really awesome. It was just metalheads and like gore freaks as far as the eye could see. It was fun.
See, those are my people. I was going to ask, so are you like a more recent Christian, or have you been Christian this whole time?
Well, I was raised Catholic, and I would say after Top Model, really when I was with my ex-husband, he was very atheist. And he would like mock me believing in God, but so did everyone else around me. Seriously,
That
like,
says
because,
a lot.
well, everyone in LA almost are atheist, godless fucks. And they openly hate Christians there and then pretend that Christians don't get hated. So I just started to think, wow, maybe I'm not smart. Maybe I am behind with the times. And then I started, I guess, just being a dick to God. And then I was like, well, then F you too, God. That F you in my heart, I kind of threw at God. It wasn't until after 2020, I knew we're in a battle between good and evil. And I don't have all the answers. And I can't tell you if like the Holy Bible has every answer in it, because the Catholic Church withholds how much gospel and puts it in their basement for us to not see.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what the answers truly are, but I do know I believe in Jesus and good, and that there's a lot of dark, evil shit out there, and I want no part of it. And I was out here in Montana looking at you can see a tendril of our Milky Way, which we're part of, but you can see it in the sky. And I was looking at it, I was like, how could I be so foolish to think that all of this shit was a mistake? Like, that is absurd. Like, the complexity of everything around us, even just a leaf that you pick off a tree. And I'm like, oh, this was just an accident. Like, that's just stupid. And then I fell to my knees and I'm like, I want to be on team good, dude. I don't want to fucking serve these ass clowns and their evil bullshit. Yeah.
No, I agree with what you said, though. There are a lot of Christians who I feel like it's like they almost don't believe in Christianity based on their actions. There was that asshole who was on Top Model that was the Christian lady.
Don't even get me started. Not only was she...
Has your view changed on her, or she's as much of an asshole?
Well, you just watched it. She was... Okay, when people call me homophobic today, which is fucking laughable. You know how people are on the internet. If you don't agree with the gender ideology, the whole thing, then you're homophobic. I'm like, this is so...
They call me racist, sexist, homophobic. I tell them only homophobic is true. Like, that one I will admit to.
She was so homophobic for real, like a real homophobic. And I will never forget, like, okay, no one wanted a room with Ebony, the lesbian. I was the only one. I was like, this is perfect. I don't want to sleep with all these bitches. I'm going to go in this private room, me and this lesbian. The first thing I asked her, you got a girlfriend? She's like, yeah. I'm like, it's serious? She's like, well, absolutely. I'm like, I'm in this room, dude. It's good. So I slept in the only room with 2 chicks, and the rest of them had like 5, 6 chicks. What a nightmare. Yeah, enjoy that shit. So when she brought her girlfriend over, to see that Robin chick's reaction, it took everything in my fucking soul to not just be like, fuck you, dude. Like I know my friend growing up, my gay friend was like, your face when she was asking Ebony about like gay stuff. I think I was wearing a bandana and I was like sitting there in glasses. He's like, your fucking face was so good. And I was like, I wish I would have told her to fuck off. I was just trying to keep the peace because I'm like, I'm just here trying to win this shit. And I don't want to like fuck things up by like wigging out on this bitch. But man, she was such a cunt to me the whole time.
I think my favorite thing in the entire season is when she makes a big thing that she's not going to pose in a bra or pose nude or anything. And then they confront her that she like pulled her robe open and shook her titties at someone. And Tyra confronts her and goes, "We saw your boobies go up, down, and all around."
Well, those are the Christians I'm talking about, these like hypocrites.
Yeah.
So me, Elise, and Robin got hired to go to McCormick Place in Chicago, like right after I won for a car show. Because I think they thought, hey, this will be funny. We'll take the two like heathen best friends and put them with this Christian bitch. And people were interested because I had just won and I'm, from Chicagoland. And that night, Robin met some dude at the bar and went straight up to the room with him. And Elise and I go up to my room and I said, dude, because earlier in the day, there was a courtyard. My room looked across to Robin's room and I noticed her. I was like, oh shit, that's Robin's room. So I'm like, Elise, you got to come to my fucking room. She's like, you got a view? I'm like, yeah. So we ran up there and we have all the lights off and we're watching them like making out all over this room. And I'm like, Christian my ass. I would never just meet a guy and go up to a room with him ever. I'd be like, he's going to kill me. I'm going to be on cold case files.
That is the greatest story I've ever heard.
It's true.
Shit.
She really was. And what's sad is so many girls got sucked up into her bullshit.
Really?
Yeah, like Kizzy and Shannon. I don't think they were.
I thought you meant people watching. I was like,
no.
She was saying, she's going to be like the role model of America.
No, she became like this ringleader for all these bitches in the house. And really, she was just another asshole. 75% of the population. Dude, I'm totally going to take my hat off. It's just like itching me. Yeah, forgive me. It's coming down.
You look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I was gonna mention this before. Yes, somebody posted the other day the Pride calendar that now they're doing every day is for a different identity. The asexuals have a day, and the this people have a day. No gay people on it.
Why would asexuals be in Pride Month? You're not attracted to anyone. Go fuck yourself. Go away.
Let me tell you. Those fucking asexuals are indignant. I've had them come after me a couple times. Like, they get pissed. Which, look, I'd be pissed too if I was an asexual. But
I think they're lying. I think they're lying for attention. I think they're totally fucking everyone.
They're like Robin.
Yes. That's exactly what they are.
You're right. I always thought it was like a hormonal imbalance or like they can't get it up or something. But there
could be that. Yeah.
By the way, sorry, this is very delayed, but hi to all of our beautiful chat friends. If anyone feels so inclined, send in your super chat, subscribe to the channel. You know what I was thinking, by the way? How I wish that you were on the season of Top Model when Tyra goes apeshit. Because I feel like if she had done that to you, I was rooting for you, we were all rooting for you, she would have been sticking her face in the finger of the wrong person.
I think so too. Like I have a tolerance level up to a certain point. That would have been the point. Because I saw that like wig out. It was really disingenuous and very elitist and just like, I don't know, man. I don't know how to put it. I felt like it was like rich girl looking down at white trash kind of thing. And I always say everyone's white trash, Like, I know some people say ghetto. I'm like, you're white trash too. Just join the club.
You mean black white trash?
Yeah, right. I mean, it's all relative. It's the same shit. Are you poor? Yes. Did you graduate high school? Maybe. Well, welcome.
I'm telling you, that show was the original Saw. That was the original Saw, and those fucking demon gays on that show only made me more homophobic because what they do on this show, they bring in like every girl who's ever been molested and abused and everything, and then they basically say, great, today you're going to have a photo shoot with your uncle who touched you when you were 7, and you're going to be making out with him on camera. And then they bring the demon gays in to act like the best friend and go, oh, you don't want to make out on camera with the uncle who touched you when you were 7? Well, I guess you just don't want to be here. I guess you're just going to go work at McDonald's then.
For my my nude photo shoot, I was not comfortable. I did it because Jay Manuel came up to me and said, me and all the judges, we've all talked production, and we set up this whole thing for you because we know you're cool enough and you would do it. We want you to like pose nude, but in not where Elise is going to pose nude, you know, where Elise got to keep her dignity and have curtains and be sequestered where people couldn't stare at a vagina. They put me in the middle of a room with 3 stories with all the cook staff of this restaurant, all the production crew, everyone's staring at me naked from every angle. And Jay's like, because we knew you'd be cool enough to do this. And I felt so pressured because I'm like, oh my God, like they set this all up for me to make the Christians uncomfortable. And if I don't do it in this room, they're probably going to think I fucking suck. So I went and I did it. And that was one of the moments in my life that a little bit of my soul got chipped away.
Aww.
I was very conservative with my body up until that point. Like I didn't sit there naked everywhere, but it chipped this thing away with me where I was just like, whatever, and would just walk around naked everywhere and not care. It was like it shattered whatever was in me that made me feel embarrassed. I would be at fashion shows, just like whatever. And like all the other girls were naked trying. And I'm like, what's the point? Like there's like 600 people back here and they all see us. Like, I'm not going to hide.
It feels like that was their goal, to just chip away at your sense of self.
I feel like that's Hollywood's goal. And
That's a good point.
then they own you because the more you chip away, the more money you'll make by chipping. And the more money you make, the more you are wrapped around their power. And who are they? Who are they though? Hollywood, just the demon beast, Babylon. You know, the irony is the day that I moved away from Hollywood, it was on fire. It was
Really?
2017, January 2017. It was on fire. And I was like, Babylon, she burns as we were driving away. And my husband's like, don't say that, meaning like to anyone publicly, because I don't mean like I want anyone to get harmed or homes. I was just like the visual I have as I leave this city is unbelievable. It's just on fire.
Boy, is that a sign from God of you doing the right thing.
He's like, get out of here, bitch. Get out of here before you lose the last vestiges that are you.
Bernard Popcorn Cap, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, we need your hot takes on Trump versus Elon crash out. Is the bromance over? I feel like everyone was waiting for the clash of the egos to happen.
I mean, do you think it's real? Because I have 2 takes. Either it's completely fake and they're just sitting there like he texting and trolling with each other. Or like I'm almost kind of embarrassed for Elon because it just looks really bad. Because he didn't even fall out like this with that Ashley St. Clair chick when she was like throwing gloves, you know? He's yeah.
And now she's trying to insert herself into this.
I saw it and it was actually it was funny. Did you see what she said?
One. Yes. What was I'm trying to remember.
If President Trump needs breakup advice, tell him to call me, something like that.
Oh my God.
And I was like, okay, that's funny.
I don't think it's fake. I think that it's just their egos.
Interesting.
Why? What do you think? For what?
Because Elon's reaction is so bad that I'm hoping it's faked because it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, it's not coming off good. Like, okay, I'm supposed to believe that the smartest man on earth didn't understand that our government is a piece of shit and wasn't going to all of a sudden be this most amazing government ever because you contributed some money. How many times did you contribute money before and it wasn't this amazing thing?
Yeah. I think maybe that's why a lot of people, like for me, I have very low expectations with Trump. I'm thrilled that he won. We had to get those other people out, but I remember 2020. So I'm glad he won, but my expectations were low. I'm not one of these people who sees him as the savior of the world.
And guess what? Probably everyone shits on you for that.
Yes.
Is it, dude, what the fuck is wrong with these people? I don't worship Donald Trump. I don't think he's some savior. I don't think he's playing 4D chess. I think
No.
he's not Marxist psychopath Kamala Harris.
That
Like,
is the perfect response.
yeah, like, and he's funny. Like, I laugh when he says shit. Like, he is a stand-up comic. He's funny.
Yeah.
But
He's
I mean, I
basically like
met
the first drag queen president. That's basically what he is.
why? Because his orange makeup and hair?
Yeah, he insults people and he's
Okay, okay,
funny
okay, okay, I
and
get you.
he's kind of campy and catty. Like I feel like he's an honorary gay.
Okay. Well, my cousin, he's gay. He used to run my top model fan club when I won top model. He's adorable.
Ooh.
Uh, he loved The Apprentice. He was for Donald Trump from the moment Trump's announced. I wasn't. He put signs in his yard in Illinois that said gay for Trump with rainbows on it and shit with a floodlight. And he's like, I put up a camera. I hope someone comes for it. It's a hate crime, baby. I'm like, oh my God. Oh
That's
my
awesome.
God. But he's the one that sent me a clip of Donald Trump on The Apprentice talking to someone on it that was gay. And he's like, oh, I didn't know you're gay. And the guy's like, yeah. And he's like, well, I guess that's why we have restaurants. Some of us like steak, some of us like pasta. And I was like, okay, that's funny. Like, he didn't come off as this huge homophobe. And I'll never forget my cousin. I was like, how could you vote for Trump with Mike Pence as his running mate? Like, Pence is so like anti-gay. And my cousin's like, well, last I checked, Mike Pence wasn't in my bedroom going, you stop that. He's like, so I'm fine. I'm like, oh my God.
I feel like some of these hoes want him to be.
Yeah.
DeVille, thank you so much for the super chat. Love you both. Sage, my love, happy birthday. She was on my stream last night. My beautiful friend.
Happy
Sage.
birthday.
Two of my favorites on one stream. I'm listening to this while browsing Avon.
That's right, motherfucker. I need to be everyone's Avon lady because I don't know. I just want to be.
Do you do stuff for guys too? I feel like I need some Avon.
Yeah, we have a guy tab, and when you click it, it like shows all the suggested skincare for fucking dudes. Essentially, our stuff is the same stuff as all the name brand shit that you get for like $180 at Sephora. It's made in the same factory. We just put ours in cheaper bottles and it has a different name, but still dumbasses go pay for the super expensive shit.
That's amazing. I gotta get on this. Damn.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, also, I feel like we need to meet your cousin. So is he like on X or anything?
Oh my gosh.
Awesome.
He's on and off. Like during 2020, he was hitting hard. He's like, I'm a gay man and I'm for Donald Trump. He was everywhere. Then he took a break. And I don't blame him for this, but I know he was on Instagram. I think I might follow him on X, but I haven't seen him online lately. And I don't blame him because I mean, he was taking hits. I was like, wow, good for you. I mean, taking hits since 2016.
You see their true colors. These people, the moment that any one of their pet groups disobeys them and doesn't do as they're told. That's what I was going to say with what you were talking about with these scumbags with your nude shoot on Top Model. These are the same motherfuckers that now are posting Me Too and black squares and all that shit.
Don't get me started on Me Too. I
Oh,
know so many. Okay, out of the 100% of women that sleep with men to get ahead, 99.999999999% of them did it consensually and willingly and just got pissed off they didn't get the big stardom that they thought they were trading their vagina for. And then they're like, hashtag Me Too. Dude, I lost so many gigs because I told the guy trying to sleep with me to go fuck himself like it's not going to happen. Yeah, and then I see the chick that's in it and I'm like, I know what you did. I know what you did. I know what you did.
You know who's a real fucking scumbag that I got groped by and lost my job for moving his hand off of me? Ryan Murphy.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
feel like any of those gay people are protected.
Yeah, there's protected classes out there. That's for sure. And that's another thing, like with the whole LGBTQYXTUV plus T, whatever. I feel like everyone says they're queer now so they can be part of a group where there's no consequences for anything that they do.
Yes! Thank you!
And why wouldn't you want to be part of this special group? Like, okay, if I used to be a preschool assistant. If I wanted to divide the class and have them get really mad at each other, what I would do is I would take like 8 students and I would tell them that it's their special month and they get to wear special colors. And every day we're going to celebrate them and uplift only their voices. And all, like Psychology 101, you're going to turn everyone against you. And it's really broken my heart to watch how accepting everyone was of the gay community and to watch it tank into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And for so many gay people to be so afraid and not stand up. And I'm like, dude, take your fucking country back. Your country of fabulous end of the month parade in Boys Town. That's what it used to be.
I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't want to see these fuckers. I don't want any parade. Leave me alone. I'm so sick of the fucking alphabet people.
Well, it used to be so fun because it wasn't oversaturated. Like it's just, I don't even like Women's History Month because I'm like, what are they not American? Is women's history somehow separate from men's? Like, I like history. I don't need virtue signaling. Like if I'm at the grocery store and I pick up a package and it says woman made, I like throw it back down. I'm like, this is stupid. I don't care.
Coming from the people who don't even know what a woman is.
I know.
Oh God, I was traveling once and I was looking for hotels on like Google Maps or something, and it shows like LGBTQ plus safe hotels.
Okay,
Like, what does that mean? Am I going to get blown up in the other hotels? Like I'm not traveling to Iran.
My cousin and I talked about this. Him and his partner went across the United States, just driving to all these cities, living their best lives. And he's like, where was their homophobia? He's like, it wasn't in the South. It wasn't in the plains. He's like, I'm walking with my man holding his hand. He's like, we're not inappropriate and gross. We're not like groping each other. He's like, no one says anything. No one looks at us funny. He's like, and we literally would check into hotels and his partner would be like, uh-oh, it's not LGBTQ friendly. And he's like, we're going to be fine. Like, what does that even mean? Like, do you have like, I don't know, special female condoms in the drawers or something?
I remember asking this question 2 years ago when I was still kind of surrounded by these types of people and got screamed at for it, but none of them could give me an answer. I'm like, what does that mean?
You know, it's almost like as a Christian, if I question the Bible, and the reason that I do is because I know that the Vatican put it together and that the Vatican hides a whole bunch of gospel. I know this. It's true. So I'm like, yeah, that's what they want us to see, but where's the rest of it? And they get so mad, and it's because gender ideology is a religion, just like, you know, Christianity. But I
Yeah.
feel like I'm a sane Christian, and I'm like, I trust God, but I don't trust men to like put all this shit together properly.
That is so well said. That's exactly how I feel, because I'm the exact same way. I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, but I'm not very religious-y, Bible-y.
Bible. There's a
For
lot of good
that
shit in the
reason.
Bible. There is a lot of good shit in the Bible, but and it rings true, and it's ancient and old, and there's lots of great lessons. But, maybe God will tell me I'm wrong, and maybe we'll have to
Yeah.
duke this out when I go out there, but I don't like to think that people like you or my cousin or my best friend since kindergarten are going to have to spend eternity on fire next to Hitler just because they were gay.
I
And
don't believe that either, because I don't believe that something you cannot change, no matter how much I would fucking want to, because I'm sick of
and
dealing with gay
I've
people.
had people try to tell me, well, it's a choice. You can either be celibate, which is like
Oh, God.
torture, or you can just try to find like a masculine woman. And I'm sorry, but like when I think of some of my gay friends, and it's laughable to think of them trying to be a woman, like it's a joke,
Yeah.
because no woman would want them because they are on fire, baby. And like we want to hang out, and we definitely want to hear you talk some shit, but we're probably not going to do anything with you because like we're not compatible.
No, I was talking about this with somebody recently who was saying this, and I was like, first of all, I don't believe God gives you something that you cannot change because it's wrong. And they were like, oh, well, it's the word of God. I'm like, okay, well, you can go by the word of God. I'm choosing to go by God's actions.
I think Jesus is a hell of a lot cooler than what people make him out to be, and
I agree.
way more forgiving and full of love. So if I have to sit up there, because my husband's agnostic, and
Oh,
I
really?
don't, yeah, a heaven is not a heaven for me without him. So if I have to go
Aw.
follow him to the depths of hell because like God's not going to give him a chance, then so be it. Fine. Fuck. Fuck me,
Oh, I
husband.
love that.
you
I
know?
love that. That's how I would feel if I weren't a bitter single bitch.
You're like, if I actually loved someone.
Yeah. I
Ah!
love food. If I ever could find a person that I love as much as I love food.
I bet you have someone in your family that you would jump in front of a train for.
That's true, my parents.
There you go. And that's love. And I'm sure your parents wouldn't be like, bye, Mike. See you in hell. See you later. Goodbye. No, they'd be like, we have to be with our son. So if I'm wrong, then Jesus can sit me down and have a chat with me when I die. I'll have all of eternity for him to tell me what a F up I am. It'll be great.
I totally agree with you. I love that something
Yeah.
you're +1. So, Adrian, I saw this article the other day that was like, Adrianne Curry, doomsday prepper.
Is
And
that fucking funny?
are you prepping for doomsday? Because you don't sound very doomsday-ish to me.
I believe shit can hit the fan at any time. COVID I can't believe we went through COVID and what our
Oh,
governments did
same.
to us. Yeah. And I don't trust my government at all.
Hell no.
So it's so funny because like everyone's like, you're so MAGA. I'm like, I trust them like not at all.
Same, same.
Right? I'm sorry. So I'm ready. So I live close enough to Yellowstone that if it was to blow, that I have a small window of time to get my bug out bags, the things that matter to me, and fly to Canada, baby, because it's a super volcano here. So when people talk about doomsday, I think they're always thinking about World War III. But I also live next to one of the world's biggest super volcanoes. I should probably be prepared for that. So that would be doomsday prepping.
Why is that unreasonable, though? Like, how many people in Hollywood
Because
wish that they did that?
I just almost said something naughty. Because everyone's a
Say
fucking
it.
idiot.
Say it.
Because everyone's retarded.
They are retarded.
I mean, it's really bad. Like they view anything like being self-sufficient. as this terrible, awful thing. And it's not. It's not bad to be prepared if a tornado hits you, or a hurricane, or forest fires, or the super volcano. Like, I would like to have that small window to try to not die. That's just me. Now,
No,
I
and
do
it's
have,
because, oh, sorry.
go on.
I was just because they are so reliant on daddy government, and because they are in a cult, that's how they see people like us. They think that everyone is like them. Just the same way they think everybody is as racist as they are deep down.
Yeah. Once you unplug from the matrix, like, I understand why they are the way they are. I used to be plugged in too.
Same.
But once you unplug, it's so sad. It's almost like I'm gonna make video game references, but the Zerg in StarCraft, it's like a hive mind of creatures that all think the same thing, like assimilate, right? And it's because they don't know any other way of life. Like, my husband hunts the land here and provides us meat, and we both go foraging. Like, we have mountain strawberries and huckleberries and raspberries, and yeah, like, it's fun. We're probably going to start beekeeping soon, which is kind of awesome.
You cannot
Yeah,
go the way of Macaulay Culkin.
I that Okay, so there's this new thing. It's not the EpiPen, it's a sniff. I saw it in a commercial, and my husband's like, "Hey, now you don't have to stab yourself." I'm like, "Dude, I'm going to get the sniff." So he's going to get me a beekeeping suit and everything, and I'm going to have the new EpiPen that goes up your nose.
That sounds terrifying, but I feel like that's the only thing you were missing was a fucking beekeeper suit.
I want a beekeeper. Now, when COVID hit, when we moved in here, we had a bat infestation. The old man that lived here prior to us was 90 years old, and he left his door open and then left for a year. So every woodland creature came and moved in. It was awful. And we had to clean up bat guano and all this other stuff. And we had full goggles, painter's suits, gloves up to, I mean, N95. So when COVID hit, and we didn't truly know what it was yet, I went to my fucking grocery store looking like I came straight out of an apocalyptic movie. I already had everything. I'm like, if this is flesh-eating bacteria or something, fuck you. And I was like, I don't care what anyone thinks of me. But that was like week 1.
Same. No, I was the
Yeah.
exact same way. I put the mask on. I didn't go out for a couple of weeks. I only saw my parents like through the front door, the glass in the door. And
Yeah.
then the moment that they told us that Black Lives Matter can go out and riot and George
Oh,
Floyd
yeah.
can get the Queen's funeral, I was like, I think we're being lied to.
Or Walmart can stay open, and Amazon, and they can take the biggest transfer of wealth in American history.
Yep.
That's fine. But everyone else can fuck themselves. How about that?
And we can get everyone hooked on antidepressants while they're sitting at home miserable.
You know what really bothers me about that is, years ago, everyone hated on Tom Cruise for going off on Matt Lauer
He
about
was
mind.
right.
He was right. Tom Cruise, where are you, buddy? You were right. I feel like they're trying to medicate the basic human condition,
Yes,
right?
thank you.
Like, I get anxiety. Sometimes it's so bad I can't breathe. I don't need medicine. That shit happens. Like, what happened to telling people sometimes, like, hey, sometimes you're going to kind of think about throwing yourself out of an airplane window because you're wigging out in here, but you just kind of got to stop it. You
Yep.
know?
And
You kind of just get your shit together.
nobody will talk about this issue of antidepressants and SSRIs because everyone is on them. And like
Everyone.
me, every person I've ever dated has been on them. And so I've really seen close up how they make people insane. They make people dead inside. We're like a nation of anesthetized zombies.
When I was really, really young, I was struggling with, puberty and all the normal things. But of course, doctors are like,
You
oh,
were
something's
trans.
wrong. Yeah, for now they would have. Because I had my head shaved like the little girl and the crow all right here. And I was
Oh,
wearing like boy clothes and stuff and boys' underwear. Oh,
oh boy.
they would have
You'd
flipped
have
my
the
sex
zipper
into.
tits at this point.
Yeah, dude, it would have been. Thank God. Thank God I grew up in the 80s. Thank you, Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
They would have took me out.
For sure. Sorry, what were you saying though when
No.
you were there? Did they try to, what's that?
Hold on. My headset turned off. You
Oh, yeah, it's on the
motherfucker.
door.
Give me a second.
Sure,
Boomer,
no problem.
boomer things. Let's see. Let me turn them off. Don't judge me.
I'm judging you. I love how we can hear the
Come
sounds of
true.
nature.
Come. Okay, say something.
Something.
It's still not coming through. You son of a bitch.
Can you
All
hear
right,
me?
Settings, audio.
Because we hear you
Bluetooth.
okay.
Why is this not working?
While Adrianne resets her headset, allow me to say if anyone feels like sending in super chats, feel free to do so. Also, sorry, my yeah, we can hear Adrianne. I don't think she can hear us though, or well, me. Maybe they died. Oh wait, maybe if you select. Oh wait, you can't hear me. Why am I talking? Let me type in the private chat 1 second. Oh,
I got it.
woo!
Holy
Just, like,
shit.
typing
I don't
shit.
know why something happened in settings where my Bluetooth got shut off. Like I didn't even fucking touch it. And
I
it was
think
like I couldn't hear you anymore.
I think I just like 2 days ago figured out how to switch mine from my laptop to my phone, so I'm the wrong one to ask.
Well, I figured it out. Thank God. Thank Jesus. Because I was like, sorry
Maddie,
about that. I'm an idiot.
no, you're not. Maddie, thank you so much, dude. Once I started working out and getting healthy, I didn't need my anxiety medication anymore. Funny how that works. Good for you, dude. That's amazing. Because a lot of these people stay on them for life.
Yeah. Working out releases natural endorphins. When I was really young, I got depressed and they put me on Prozac.
Oh,
And it was
God.
my grandmother was like, I would rather see you out of control than whatever you are right now. I was like a zombie. I was not me. I didn't care about anything. So my grandma's like, no, we're done with these.
How
So
old were
I
you?
stopped like 13, 14.
Jesus.
Well, they were trying to say I was bipolar. Like, dude, I'm 13, 14 years old. I just started my period a few years ago. I'm out of my mind. Like, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
what the?
crazy.
And plus, like, all I did was watch The Crow and listen to Alice in Chains. I was like all depressed, and it was that was the thing to do.
Yeah. It's so sick. No, when I was a little kid, they wanted to put me on, and I was maybe like 5 or 6. They wanted to put me on Ritalin and this and that. And my dad was like, nope, that's not happening.
Yeah, what? Oh, this little kid's acting like a little kid. We
Yeah.
better stop it. Like, of course, little kids don't want to sit still. They're little
Yeah.
kids.
I know. It's so sick what's happening and how many people are being put on these drugs and how many. I always say, I'm like, I think that these pharmaceutical drugs are so much worse than illegal drugs because if somebody's shooting heroin or smoking crack, every person in their life will say that that's a bad thing and you should stop and get help. Whereas with prescription drugs, every authority figure just encourages you to be on them.
100%. I completely agree with you. It is so terrifying how medicated this country is. And it, like I said, they're medicating the basic human condition. I don't know. I don't think we're headed anywhere good. I predict in the next 10 years, we're all fucked with like AI and everything. I think more than half of us will lose our jobs in 5 years. That's what I think.
You'll own nothing and you'll be happy.
Boom. We'll own nothing. We'll be happy, but we'll have all these medications for you to take, put the Neuralink into your brain and go into the system.
See, that's another reason, like, I'm glad that he did some of the things he did, but that's another reason I've never quite trusted Elon Musk is he's one of those people who's all with the Neuralink and shit like
The
that.
transhumanism. Yeah.
No.
I'm good on that. I'm good on that.
I'm good.
Now, like I play World of Warcraft when I want to tap out. I don't want to be something that's something else. Like, I could see how so many people could just lose themselves in this fantasy land. Like, it literally is the Matrix. I want nothing to do with it.
Same, and I really think that's where we're heading. Between that, prescription drugs, AI, it's like that's the satanic trinity that we have to look forward to.
Are you seeing what they're doing, like making AI influencers and shit that like look so real? I'm not kidding. Like, I think talking heads, like, I think all of this, I think we're not going to know what's real and what's fake anymore in like 3 months.
I agree. It's kind of terrifying.
Well,
No,
that's why all of a sudden they have Epstein video. They had no video before, but now they have the video to prove
Wait, they have a video?
Yeah, they claim that they now have video evidence that he did himself in. I'm like, of course you do.
Full fucking ass shit.
Cash Patel was just on Joe Rogan. Dude, he's a snake, baby. I don't care what anyone says. He slithered his way right in, and he is like the viper to end all vipers. I don't trust that dude at all. And I thought he was going to do good things, but I'm like, yeah, no, bro. No.
Yeah, we really are fucked. It's kind of, that's why you have the right idea. Like, find your man, go live somewhere and bake bread and do stuff. Like, you are basically living my dream life.
We try to not have like any tech here. Like, I don't want what is that? Alexa listening to me or any of that. I have Faraday bags for my cell phone and my tablet so that they get dead signal. Yeah, dude, I'm crazy. I will unplug my computer from the fucking wall. I'm like, no.
Smart.
Yep, good night. Good night, world.
No, and I think, and we're, starting to have kids who've never known normal, who have never known any other reality because they've just been raised with iPads in front of their face from the time they were given birth to.
I have watched kids have nervous breakdowns when their parents take away their screens. And it's like, dude,
God,
that shit is so unhealthy for adults. I can't imagine being raised like that. Like, I'm so grateful AOL is what came out when I was a teenager.
Same.
And it was like super boring.
I miss
It wasn't that
VHS
cool.
tapes.
Right. Me
Remember
too.
Blockbuster?
Yes. I loved going to the video store and taking the little tab and walking up and being like, I want this My Little Pony movie. Thank you.
And I'd be like, I want this Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
There you go. See, I was always watching like Legend and Labyrinth and all that fun stuff.
Dark Crystal.
Oh yes, baby.
Hell yes. That's like my crossover of my two favorite things, Muppets and spooky shit.
I loved the new Netflix Dark Crystal and was totally heartbroken when they canceled it. I couldn't believe it.
I heard it was good. I never watched it because I was afraid they were going to make it Netflixy.
No, it's so fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. And this is from an OG Dark Crystal lover, and I loved it. You would love it, but then, they stopped. So it's like they stop right when they get to the Skeksis to like fight over the crystal. Like the ending will never come. It's
okay, I gotta watch it now.
It's really sick. I think
whenever I would watch that movie as a kid, my Italian godmother would walk into the room and be like, "What are you watching, these ugly fucks?"
Oh my God. I used to run around my house and be like,
piss them off so much.
Yes. So fun.
Drew, thank you so much for the super chat, dude. I always found it weird that they tapped Dan Bongino, the biggest conservative commentator, before all the conservatives started doing shady shit.
Interesting. He looked like he was being held at gunpoint when he was like, Epstein killed himself. Like, he did not look good.
Did he come out and say, see, I've been a bit out of the loop. I'm so over politics that I've just been having like a political detox. So I'm very out of the loop. With all this shit.
I'm watching true crime all the fucking time like a good girl.
Hell yes.
Just true crime. That's all. Because I don't fucking care anymore. Because I feel like I'm just getting a whole bunch more of the same. I tried it one way, it didn't work. I tried it the other way. I'm not so sure if it worked. I think George Carlin was right. It's a big club and we ain't in it.
That's so true. I feel the exact same way.
So
And
I'm
I
like,
feel
you know
like
what? Go on.
everything is just more fake. Everything is so fake and gay. Everything is more fake than it's ever been. Like you go on X and it's just, how does that make you feel? Do you agree with this? The same people saying the same shit. I
Yeah,
can't.
it's content farming, and I feel like no one's genuine anymore.
Same.
Like I always try to do everything genuinely, and then does it go viral and shit? No, but at least it's real.
I agree.
At least it's like a thought that's not just like, who do you think's right, Trump or Elon? Vote.
Oh, I can't with these people. Dietrich, thank you so much. Listen to Welcome to the Internet by Bo Burnham. That sounds familiar, but I haven't heard it, I don't think.
Me
I
not,
just
me neither.
I just remember thinking he was hot, but he seemed insufferable. He seemed like he was probably posting a black square.
Oh. Hey, I posted the fucking black square. I did it. I didn't know what
Adrian,
was happening.
did you have pronouns?
No. But you know what did happen? So when Kyle Rittenhouse did his thing, because I love firearms, someone who I will not name called me and started screaming at me about Kyle Rittenhouse. I had never heard of him. I had no idea what had happened. I'm like, why are you screaming at me? And they're like wigging out about AR-15s and this and that. And I'm
Oh
like,
God.
I was like, you don't even know anything about guns. Why are you calling me about guns? Well, you're probably on his side. I'm like, who is Kyle Rittenhouse? Like, God, and I like hung up. And then I saw later on like what happened. I'm like, oh, it's because I have one, the same firearm that, oh, okay. So now I'm a bad person just because I own this particular gun. It's so stupid.
I remember getting into fights with people saying that this was white supremacy because he killed all these black people.
Well,
Nobody
white
did
people, not
no
just white people, but like white criminals and
white
pedos.
pedophiles.
Yeah, go away, B. Sorry.
Don't you
I ho-
bees try to Macaulay Culkin my girl.
Dude, it's because it's spring in Montana. It's not quite summer and all the flowers are open. So if it's not a hummingbird, it's like a bumblebee the size of my head coming by.
I thought this was so funny in the chat. Politics is as real as Top Model.
Yeah, well, I think only my season was real and only on our part, but everything else was fake, meaning everything else that they set up. I always went in my reality shows as real as I could, but I think once people sniffed out the formula, like after the first American Idol came out, after the first Top Model, then everyone was like, I'm going to be the Adrianne. I'm going to be and then everyone had a plan. And then, yeah, but politics is just a bunch of really bad acting and people believe them. That's what's sad.
They do, is most and the vast majority of people, one way or the other, buy into this shit 100%.
It's it's crazy. Like, okay, in Hollywood, people had publicists and they worked with rag mags to push narratives and fake stories to garner attention and to sway public opinion. And that's in Hollywood, and everyone doesn't think that the government and the media does that. Like they do the same fucking thing.
I know it's like no matter which side of celebrities are the ones they like, they want to believe that it's real and genuine, and it's so clearly not. I don't know what more needs to happen for people to realize how fake shit is.
People are too stupid. Like
I,
sometimes I'm sitting here and it's beautiful and I'm like, is this real? Like, am I really here? Like, that's how bad it's gotten for me where I'm just like questioning everything now. I'm like, is this real life?
I feel like where you are is so beautiful though that I would question also if it's real.
Right? Here, I'll let you look real quick.
Yes. Oh my god, I want a tour. Oh my god.
Isn't that beautiful?
Oh my god.
Hmm.
I am so jealous.
Yeah. So don't judge this. Here, I got a pile,
What is
but
it?
yeah. This is just a pile of stuff that was on the porch because
Oh.
we're resealing the logs on my cabin. So
You
we
literally
just
live in a log cabin.
I do.
That's amazing.
I do. So that's why I'm sitting out here. And, I'll be honest with you, it's really tough to look at your beautiful face when I'm surrounded by this.
Oh, I love you.
I'm
Adrian
like, I
said
need to
my face
focus
is
on you.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, well, I've got the majestic Rocky Mountains right behind you, and I've successfully stared at you the entire time.
oh my God. Okay, that was my conversion therapy. I'm straight now. Tell your husband. We're running off together.
Yeah, well, then my husband will have a problem that I just sat and talked with someone for an hour and a half that's not gay. Like, you're safe. Stay safe for me.
I get to my safe space.
Yeah.
You guys need to come visit Florida, though. Even though if you hate, I know you don't like the hot weather or whatever, but
I'll tell you, the last time I was in Florida, just really quick, I went down with Avon. It was the first year I earned an Avon trip. And I go down and I eat a chicken sandwich that was wrapped in romaine lettuce. And it was 2018. And it was the famous Yuma, Arizona E. coli outbreak in their romaine lettuce. And I was patient zero. The only ride I rode at Disneyland was the ambulance to the hospital. And I shit my pants in the stretcher. I
oh, that's
did.
horrible.
I know. So that was the last time I was in Florida. I was in the ER pooping my pants. It was, at least my best friend was there and she just laughed at me the whole time. Like, they're like, "Do you want to ride in the back of the ambulance?" She's like, "Hell no, that bitch shit her pants. I'm getting in the front seat."
Okay, well, the good news is I feel like there's nowhere to go but up after that experience
Right,
in Florida.
totally. Hey, but it was from Arizona that where it happened. But what was
Oh yeah, it's
crazy
their
is
fault.
they comped my hospital. Disney did. They comped my ambulance ride because those are fucking expensive, and they paid for everything. And yeah, at least there was that. But it was the first time I ever pooped my pants in my adult life, and it was because I was vomiting so hard in a bag. And I told the ambulance guys, the techs, I forget what you call them. I was like, I don't want to get in the stretcher. And because they're like, "You're purple. You have to go to the hospital," because I had been vomiting and shitting all day. And I'm like, if I get in the stretcher, I'm going to crap myself. They're like, "We got to take you to the hospital." Sure as shit. And here was the worst part.
Sure as shit.
Yeah. They are wheeling me through the lobby by like Epcot Center. I forget the hotel we're staying at. And this chick was like, "Oh, Adrianne, I hope you feel better. I loved you on Top Model." As I'm wheeling away, I'm like, "Oh my God, it's happening." Like in Bridesmaids. I'm like, it's
Ah,
happening.
ah.
People are recognizing me. So this big wig from Avon comes up to my stretcher and he's like, "Are you okay?" And all this shit. And I literally am looking at him with this bag and I'm like,
Oh.
that's how I was introduced to like the higher ups at Avon. Was I was crapping myself and vomiting. It was great. So yeah, that was the last time I was in Florida. So when you said Florida, you're like, "You need to come to Florida." I'm like, "Oh, the last time I was there." Huh.
Hey, we got a couple bathrooms if you need to shit yourself again.
Yeah, right.
At least they paid for shit. At least they paid for your ambulance ride. That's more than
For
Tyra's big fat ass
yeah,
did.
right. Because I made more money getting E. coli at Epcot than I did on Top Model. And I got a new pair of pants out of the deal because my dead grandma had given me these Batman pajama pants and I threw them away and I didn't want to because they meant so much to me, but I shat on them. So I'm like, I got to throw these away. And I cried and my husband felt bad for me. And when I landed and he picked me up from the airport, we got home and he had bought me brand new Batman pajama pants. And I'm like, that's so sweet. He's like, "There's no poop on them either."
Now that is a keeper. That is how
I
you
know.
know your man is a keeper. He
He's
got
a
you new
good dude.
pants when you shit your pants.
Yeah, no, totally. Well, I couldn't talk to him on the phone and he was so worried. Thankfully, my best friend was there and he really wanted to talk to me, but I just couldn't communicate because it was like every second I was puking for like 24 hours. It was bad.
Oh,
Don't get
that's
E. coli.
horrible.
Yeah, don't get E. coli. Avoid romaine lettuce because you're always tossing the dice with it.
I think I just bought romaine lettuce. I'm gonna go throw it out right after this.
There's a documentary showing you how unsanitary all the romaine lettuce growing areas are because it's next to so many cattle ranches and like the fecal
Ooh.
matter yeah, so that's why the E. coli outbreak happened, and I was patient zero. It was like 28 days later. Only with poop.
You have the greatest stories I've ever heard in my life. Adam, shit stories is not what I expected to walk into turning this shirt on.
Do you want more?
I'm glad you did.
I have more shit stories, believe it or not. I do.
I feel like I need some. I don't have any shit stories.
Okay. So a few months ago, I was like constipated, so I drank a senna tea. Well, you can't stack senna tea. It's a natural laxative. So like 4 or 5 days later, my former stoner mind forgets that I had drank the laxative tea. And then I was like, oh, I need to go to the bathroom. It's just not working. So I drink another one. When you stack it, it's bad. I drove down to the dump, which is like 40 minutes away. We don't have a garbage man. And on the way, like my stomach's going crazy. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh my God. Oh, it's still winter. Okay. So it was like 2.5 months ago. Anyway, I'm driving back. I'm like, I'm in a shit. Like, I don't think I'm going to make it to the house. And I'm like trying to get through blizzard conditions. My husband's plowing our half-mile driveway. And he hears my car come up, but then doesn't see me. I can't hold it anymore. I parked my car in the middle of the fucking street in the middle of nowhere with the door open, keys in the ignition. It's running. And I run up this hill to take a shit because I can't not hold it anymore. And my husband's like, what's going on? So he comes down on a Kubota tractor and looks up this mountain that I had climbed up this mountain. And I'm screaming, get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck out of it. He thinks I've lost my mind because my car is in the street. By the grace of God, he leaves and it happens, if you know what I mean.
Oh.
Yeah. So like he just missed me spraying diarrhea, like projectile vomit out of my anus. And he takes my car and like parks it in the driveway because he doesn't know what's happening. He's like, what is wrong with this bitch? So I come back and he's just like flabbergasted and I have drool coming out of my mouth and I'm like, ah. And I push past him and I can't even talk. And I have to climb a half mile up my driveway because I know I'm going to shit again. So I come up here and I do it again. Finally, he comes up here and he walks into the door and he's like, what the fuck is going on? And I have to explain the whole story to him. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I just literally sprayed our entire property with diarrhea and you almost missed it all. So I have 2 poops, but I didn't poop my pants. But it was, I abandoned my car in the middle of the fucking national forest.
You guys were married by this point, right?
Yes, this was just a few months ago.
Marriage. Okay,
well, it's so funny because
before that.
Well, he was just, yeah, right. He was just like, what the fuck is wrong with this bitch? But when I told him the understanding when you're best friends, and he's like, oh man, that must have been awful. And then he kept effing with me. He's like, I'm going to walk over there and see it. I'm like, no, like, we'll never sleep with each other again. If you behold that which came out of my body, do not go over there. But he was just fucking with me. I'm going to drive the tractor over to hide what you did to our property.
Robert, thank you so much, dude. Welcome to Shooting the Shit with Mike and Adrianne.
Yes, that's right. I wish Mike had something, but it's just me.
Okay,
apparently.
No, I have something. Okay. It's not shit, but it's like, it's an ass-related story.
Okay.
It's close enough. So, years ago, I was living in this shitty neighborhood in Brooklyn by like Bushwick. And only time this ever happened to me, all my years in New York City, I got mugged. Like these 2 guys came out of nowhere and like robbed of everything and all this shit. So afterwards, my dad has a friend who's a cop or so, because in New York City, they don't allow any forms of self-defense. You can't have anything.
Yeah, I know.
So my dad has a friend who's a cop, and he's like, here, I got you pepper spray. Carry pepper spray around with you. which is probably stupid. But so I start carrying this fucking thing around because in my head I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get mugged again. So I start carrying this thing around in my back pocket everywhere I go. So a couple nights later, I have a date. We're sitting at a bar and we're talking, we're having a nice time. And all of a sudden I'm like, is it really hot in here? What's going on? Like something. And then I realized that the warmth is coming from one particular location. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, my fucking ass is on fire. My ass is on fire. What is happening? So I go to the bathroom and realize the pepper spray is leaking. I pepper sprayed my ass.
So you were a real flamer that night.
Yep. I'm in the bathroom. My date is in the next room, and I'm having to like pull my pants down and splash cold water on my ass, which gets all over my pants, of course. So I come out of the bathroom with wet pants, and whenever people say to me, "How are you single?" I'm like, "Oh, I promise you, there's a damn good reason."
Because you pepper sprayed your own asshole before you could even bring him home. Like, no one wants that. It's like, are you into hot, spicy Indian food?
No one wants that.
Did it burn your flesh? I feel like it would. Was it like a chemical burn?
I mean, I don't know. I couldn't see, but it took a couple days to go away. I'm not flexible enough to really like look. I feel like I saw my ass for the first time recently, and I was like, oh, hey.
That's America's ass.
Yeah, it was much nicer than I thought it was. I was pleased.
That's awesome. Yay, good for you. I finally grew an ass. I gained 15 pounds, so I don't have that, like, my dad used to tell me to do this magic trick. I'm like, what magic trick? He's like, when you sit down on your no ass, because I was so skinny. But now I have an ass. Like, I work out and I eat cinnamon rolls, so there's something there. It exists now.
See, I thought the same thing. I'm like, I don't have an ass. I have like a micro ass, maybe. But then I saw it and I was like, wait, it's hiding. Oh, yeah, I'd like taken out a missing persons report from my ass. It like doesn't exist. But then I saw it one day and I was like, oh, there it is.
Where were you when you discovered your ass? Were you in your bedroom with like a full length?
No. Okay, this is going to make it sound so much worse.
Good.
Have you ever seen Terrifier 2?
My husband watches that shit. I hate it's too gruesome. I can't.
I feel like you would love it.
I don't think I would because it wigs me out.
Well, so for Halloween, I was one of the characters from Terrifier 2, and there's a scene in it that's like a montage, because I feel like there are never any sexy guy costumes for Halloween, so I always end up doing like a guy version of horror chicks. So I wanted to like recreate the scene of this montage where she's like putting her costume on and getting ready, and there's this part where it's from behind and you see her back in the shower. So I did that, and so you can see my back. I cropped it, but I had to like set my phone down and record the back of record my ass in it. And then I saw it after, and I was like, "Oh, hey,
that's my ass. It's a great ass."
It kind of is, and I'm very surprised. I feel like, did you ever have this reaction, like posing nude and such? I'm just never happy with my body, right? That's just, I think, my default setting. Yeah.
And I know that it's wrong. So my brain will be like, your body sucks. But then like there's this little voice that's like, also you're mentally ill. Don't listen to yourself. And I'm like, oh yes, I am.
That's good that you at least have the awareness of knowing that objectively.
I do. And all my friends have had babies and I haven't, and they always like tell me how jealous they are of my body and stuff. So I hear them, so I know they're seeing something I don't. But then I always remind them, you've created life and I have nothing but cats. So pick one.
Do you want kids? Do you plan on?
I'm too old for it now. I did really want children, but I was with the wrong guy when I could have had them. I wasn't willing to go through all the surgery I would need to try with my husband now, and he was fine with that. He's like, cool, we'll just, have cats and a dog and live our lives. So I was like, okay. I don't know. I feel like I made a lot of decisions in my life that would not be healthy for kids. I wouldn't want my mom to be me and have pictures that I have out there and stuff. Like I think kids could get really hurt by some of my former decisions.
Yeah, but I
That
mean,
went dark.
no, but I mean, look at you now. Like, you learned so much and come so far, and that's what matters.
No, it does, but I know how cruel kids can be. And like,
Yeah.
hey, I jerked off to your mom in Playboy would be awful. Yes, they would
Ugh.
do that. But they would do that.
Fucking fucked up kids.
They would do that. They would totally do it.
You're right,
So,
but kids are fucked up.
yeah, they are. Everyone's like, oh, kids are so sweet. I'm like, have you been to a junior high? They're not sweet.
No, they're miserable little fuckers.
Yeah, they are. They're little buttholes.
You're amazing, Adrianne. I love you.
Well, I'm so glad you asked me to do this. Like, what a random invite, and I was happy because usually invites that you get is all fake scammers. Like,
Really?
we'll pay you. Yes. So I'll get emails from, oh, it's the such and such podcast, and we want to do it through your Facebook, and we'll offer you $2,000. And I'm just like, report phishing, spam, like,
Yeah.
get the fuck out of here. But I didn't do anything for so long that, nobody gives a shit about me anymore. So I was like, oh, okay.
That is bullshit. That is bullshit. You know what?
When you were like, come on my show, I was like, okay, I think we'd vibe pretty well.
We more than vibe. And that's
Yeah,
bullshit
right?
that nobody cares about you. Chat, tell her that is bullshit. Because
I
it's
kind of like it though.
Well, then you're going to have to like, having your quiet mountain life, but also being beloved. Because you are, bitch.
I just want to be everyone's fucking Avon lady. Like, if you need bug spray, like, I've got you.
I need you to be my Avon lady. I'm
See,
going on
not
there
your
right after this.
not your grandma's fucking Avon lady. Like, that is my motto. Like, I can't believe they haven't fired me. Like, God bless them.
Why do you raise hell with them?
Well, no, it's me. Like, I wouldn't want me representing Avon if I was Avon, but God bless them. They're super sweet.
You're the best. I feel like you'd be the best Avon lady.
Well, I was their number one for a while, but I got two people kicking my ass, which just shows you how amazing they are because, I have pretty large social medias and stuff. And I think that's awesome because a lot of people are like, you're only successful because you were famous. I'm like, there's people who aren't famous kicking my ass.
Well, chat, let's order a bunch of Avon shit and kick their asses.
Yeah, no. They're really nice. Like, I know them. They're actually really fucking cool people.
Well, let them be nice, but they can be nice and be number 2 and 3 or whatever.
No king can rule forever. I think it was number one I've been with them for 8 years. Has it been 7 or 6 years? But yeah.
Duke wants to know how to buy Avon for. So as soon as this is over, I'm going to update the description to have her link. I'm horrible at this and should have had it on there before, but I suck.
It's just my name. AdrianneCurry.com.
Oh, I thought it was a longer link.
Nope. You could go to my official website, which is just my glorified link tree, and it'll have my Avon link on there.
Okay, I'm going to do that after.
Yeah.
I need all the stuff to stop me from looking my age.
Oh my God. How old are you? Don't be a bitch. I'm going to be 43 in August. Like, I'm not afraid. I was born in 1982.
That's hate speech. Hate speech.
Why are you such a bitch about this?
Because, okay, here's the thing. Because I'm single. When I'm not single, I will tell everyone how old I am.
Okay. Well, remember this. I'd rather look really good for my age than look like a ridden hard and put away wet younger version of myself.
I've been thinking that. I've been thinking I should maybe lie in the opposite direction.
Yeah. No, don't put more years on you. Just be honest. You want a good, real relationship, you have to be honest.
Really?
Yes, you don't fucking lie.
But I'm a
That's right.
pathological liar about my age. I just rejoined these dating apps, and some of them even have an age that's like almost close to my real one.
That's
That's
you're
terrible.
such an see. You're one of those assholes. What are you gonna do if you meet someone you really like him, and then he finds out you're like 5 years older than what you said? Like,
6 years.
aren't you gonna feel like a dick?
Yes, but okay. No, I would just tell them right away. From now on, I'm going to tell them right away, and it's just going to have been like an innocent typo that was put on there by
Are you
mistake.
sure? Are you sure you weren't? You're not really a woman inside? Because I feel like I'm talking to one of my girlfriends. I'm the only one of my girlfriends that, with no qualms, I'm just like, I've been
Because they're
saying I'm.
married.
Well, is that it?
Yes, I think so. Well, and also, your girlfriends have to deal with men. I have to deal with shitty gay men. That's like the worst of both worlds. It's like a woman who's on her period 24 hours a day.
Yeah, that is
Oh,
true.
they're horrible.
They're horrible, but I also love them because no one is quite a catty bitch, quite like some of the catty bitch gays, and they're funny, man.
They are, but you wouldn't want to have to date them.
Yeah, no, that's true. I like to listen to them talk shit, but I don't know if I'd want to date them. But that's the beauty of it, of them being gay. It'll never be a problem.
Dude, this is so true. All gays over 30 lie about their age. I think that's
Okay.
true.
Okay, then all women and gay men are essentially the same thing.
Well, I think I realized that's why, like, on these apps like Tinder or Hinge or stuff, I'll see these guys who are my age, and I'm like, how do they look so old? And then I realized, oh wait, they're probably like 50, and they're lying about their age to say that they're my real age instead of
Oh
whatever age
my
I'm pretending to be.
God. That's so funny. Well, my husband better never leave me because I don't feel like dyeing my hair ever again. So,
You rock it. I love that color on you.
do you? This is
Yeah,
the I don't give a fuck anymore. That's what happened.
I love it.
I started going gray when I was 22. I cried.
You started going gray then?
Yeah, I think it was the stress of being in Hollywood, my former marriage. I really think stress will gray you out.
I mean, it's a good thing though. Ultimately, I feel like that you had that dumbass marriage so that you could meet your current
It
husband,
is. I
your real
actually
husband.
had a list of non-negotiables when I met my husband. I felt bad for him in the beginning because I was cutthroat. I left my husband twice, and not just left. Like, he woke up with a U-Haul pulling up and me putting my shit in it and left because I had no tolerance anymore for douchebaggery. And if I felt I wasn't being valued, I was like, I'm leaving. And that was because I was so damaged
I
from
feel the same
this.
way for the same reason.
Yeah, and he was just like, "Girl, like, you got to put some chill on this. Like, you cannot just bounce and like move." And that's why the second time he put a ring on it, and now he jokes because he's like, "I don't know, it's that time. You're gonna get a U-Haul?" Like, just fucking with me. I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna get a U-Haul," but it did get
Oh,
him to commit.
I love you guys. You sound like just the greatest couple.
He's my favorite person. He's super
Oh,
hot. He's a nerd. We love Lord of the Rings. We love to shoot guns. We love nature and hiking. It's nice when you're married to your best friend. I always feel bad for people when they're miserable in their marriages because I'm like, it doesn't have to be like that, you
yeah.
know?
That could have been you.
Yeah, I know. I
That
know.
could have been
I'm
me too, multiple times.
I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky he told me that time that he had never really loved me, and I was like, okay, that's what I needed to know, you know. Also, monogamy for me is incredibly important. That is not
Same.
something that people found important before my husband now. So,
Tell me about it.
Yeah, like keep it in your pants, dude. There's a plethora of people out there that are pansexual and
Ugh.
multi whatever, and you can like have sex with all these people and be fine. Why do they keep trying to date people who like to be monogamous and then cheat? Like fuck
Well,
off.
and it's like they put down monogamy as if it should be, as if their fucking polyamorous, pansexual, whatever should be comparable to it.
There is nothing like sex with someone who you know inside and out, who knows everything that gets you going, everything that you don't like. Like it is beyond a finely oiled machine. And when you don't have kids like us, you get to do it all the time.
That's beautiful. I know. I'm so sick of these bitches. I think
I
I
don't envy
finally
you.
I think I finally learned. Sorry, 1 second, by the way. My contact keeps falling out. Can you just talk for 1 second? Just vamp 1 quick second.
Yes. So I used to wear contacts all the
Nobody look at
time.
me.
Yeah, I used to wear contacts all the time. I can't wear them anymore because of chronic dry eye, but I don't miss shit like that where my contacts popped out of my eye.
Oh, great. It broke in my eye. I got it out in 2 pieces.
You're so lucky you got that out.
Oh, I've had it happen before where you can't. Yeah, sorry about that. There.
Uh,
That's like my shitting my pants story now. And be like, the time my
okay.
contact broke with Adrian.
Yeah, that's right.
I was
It's
going to say,
because,
though, oh, sorry, what were you
go
saying?
on. You go.
I think I've finally started to learn my lesson though with guys after all this time that like because recently I was supposed to have a date with this guy the other night. We'd been talking for a couple weeks. And the day that it was supposed to happen, I just get the runaround. Oh, maybe I can leave in a little bit. I don't know if I get this worked up. I'm just like, you know what? Forget this. I don't need this. I feel like you
Yeah.
got to learn to pay attention to the red flags and act on them right away.
Yes. 100%.
That's what I would never do before.
100%. Yeah. Instead of like giving someone the benefit of the doubt is earned over time. You don't just give it.
That is so true. That's what I would always do is like I would see the red flags, but I wouldn't act on them.
Yeah. Or you'd brush it off or make an excuse because you're not an asshole. So you're like,
Yep.
maybe this guy's not and then he's an asshole.
Well, the thing with dating men is that like they act in ways that we would never act ourselves. Like normal people would never act, and I can never comprehend the ways that other people do act.
Yeah. Because they're assholes.
Yeah. 75%, baby.
And when you're not an asshole, it's hard to put yourself in an asshole's shoes.
I
It
know.
is. It's like how are you even thinking like this or doing these things? And you can't even fathom that mindset because you are so not an asshole.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not jealous that you're dating. I hate dating. I think it's awful. I feel so bad for you. Like some people find it so exciting, and I never
No.
did.
No, because I mean, it might be exciting if you have a plethora of decent people, but where?
See, my girlfriends got mad at me because when I met my husband, I would only go out on a date with him and I wouldn't date anyone else. I'm like, I don't date multiples. They're like, date all these guys. I'm like, dude, how do I know if I'm liking someone if I'm expending all my time on all these other idiots? Like I have to hard focus on this guy and figure him out. Like I've never been a juggler. I always thought like I would just call them the wrong name and just do dumb serious. I was like, I don't know. I don't
Did
have
that
time
ever
for that.
bite you in the ass though? That then you end up, because for me, it's like I always end up, at least mentally committing myself to somebody who wasn't committed to me. So I'm starting to
Yes.
feel like maybe I should try to juggle, and I don't know.
Yes. I think finding someone who's passionate about something that you're passionate about is essential. I
Hmm.
started doing charity events and like charity stair climbs and all this shit in the tallest building on that side of the Mississippi in LA. It was the US Bank building. It would be full of firefighters and all these other people. And if I believed in God then, I probably would have done church related activities, but just things that you're really interested in. And for me and my husband, it was World of Warcraft and the Lord of the
I love
Rings.
that.
Yeah. and it works.
Oh, I love that. This is so true. What my beautiful line lady said, people don't date for marriage anymore, just instant gratification.
Yes, and that's why I didn't date very much because I could tell right away. Like I never just slept with people. That's not my thing. I
Same,
wanted,
unfortunately.
yeah, I wanted love, marriage, for a while, family, and I had no interest in being the town doorknob. And it was really easy to suss out the guys that were expecting that. So I just ghosted them, all of them. Goodbye.
Hey, Rachel. Rachel agrees with me that your hair is beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, I don't want to keep you all night. I'm so appreciative of you being here. This has been the greatest time ever. You are the greatest. I'm so happy.
Well, no, you're the greatest, and thank you for telling me about your hot ass story.
Thank you, right? Which I mean, I have like multiple ass stories, so like I just need to keep getting new ass stories.
Before we go, I want to know, like, how did your date react when you told him your pepper spray leaked all over your ass?
That was my first boy. He became my first boyfriend.
I love it. That's great. See, you were honest. You're like, look, I just had chemicals leak all over my ass. Also, you're hot, but I'm also burning alive.
No, but he ended up being my like little Brady Bunch fucker because he told me the
Oh, okay.
same thing that your ex-husband did. I don't understand. I know. I don't understand how. I don't understand. I don't understand these people.
I don't know. He was wrong for you. He's right for someone else. Next. Goodbye.
Yeah,
There you
I
go.
I like that way of looking at it.
Well, I am going to go eat food because I'm fat, but I
I
really
am
did enjoy
too.
talking to you.
I love
Yay.
you.
Let's
You're
go eat.
amazing. Yes. What have you got any fun stuff coming up? I love your morning videos, and I'm
No.
super jealous. By the way, I started listening to it before. I'm going to finish it tonight. You were on Bethany's show.
Yeah, just you and Bethany are the only people I've done. Yeah. She
That's
reached out
amazing.
she reached out to me out of nowhere and I was like, yeah, okay. Like I know Real Housewives and never watched them, but she comes off very New York, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very New
Like a
York,
real New
but
Yorker.
yeah, but I enjoyed her and I enjoyed you. So
I
that's it.
enjoyed
I
you.
just sell Avon. I don't have anything else going on in my life. It's fucking perfect.
I completely 1000% agree with this. Best guest ever. This was
Oh well,
amazing.
thanks.
I am getting you to Florida. You can shit your pants once you're here. I don't care. We have like 4 bathrooms.
I'll bring my bear spray. You could put that in your pocket and let it go off. It'll be great. That's
and you're
awesome.
fucking and you can wear your fucking beekeeper suit, so even if you shit in the pants, nobody will know
No,
but
oh
you.
my God. Oh no, with an N95, seal it all in there with me. Dear
It'll be
God.
your problem.
Yeah, right. All right, kiddo.
Well,
I hope you have a great Friday. And thank you everybody for, I guess, watching us be stupid.
I feel like we're good at being stupid.
Yeah, right.
Thank you so much for being here. You are the greatest. I love you, Adrian. I love you, chat friends. I will see you guys soon. Bye.